Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to This Week in Call of Duty. It's actually weekly at this point. I made one of these last week and here we are back once again. Slowly, this is turning into a me ranting series about things that are going on in Call of Duty, but there's going to be one good thing in this video as well. Essentially what this series is we go over everything that has happened in Call of Duty or what is coming to the next Call of Duty or all of the news that we got over a given week. And this week, like last week's, just so happens to be one that I am not so happy about, and neither really is the community. But I think there is something much deeper here to be found, and that is what I wanted to talk about in this video. Essentially, what I am saying is, as you can tell by the title, Call of Duty is hiding something, and I don't think it's a good thing, but it could also be. You'll see what I mean as we dive through. So let's start out with the big one, the big thing that happened this week that people really weren't happy about. So where this stems from is microtransactions. So they added King Kong versus Godzilla bundles, and with them, we can see several different ones. The one we are looking at here is Camo, and for this, you get an operator skin, some weapon blueprints, a flashbang kind of blueprint, if you will, finishing moves, things along those lines. And this bundle is going to cost you 2,400 COD points, or about 20 American dollars, give or take a little bit. But what is new here is down in the bottom left, there's a Titan collection reward, and this gives you a blueprint on a melee weapon called a Beast Glove. It has a interesting inspect. It doesn't have ragdoll effects. People were saying there was a missed opportunity here in and of itself. But to actually get this blueprint, you have to buy every single bundle. So there's 4 different ones of these. There's the Kong one, Camo, Godzilla, and finally the Scar King, each of which is 2,400 COD points. No, you didn't hear me wrong. Doing some quick math, that is $80. Guess how much Call of Duty costs? $79.99. These 4 bundles cost the same amount as the entirety of the game just to earn this melee weapon. So I think it's really easy to say that this is pretty obviously really egregious. Yes, the bundles have been worth 2,400 COD points before, especially the ones that are crossovered with some pop culture references. We've also seen bundles for 1,000 COD points, 1,800 COD points, and generally speaking, 2,400 COD points is generally the most. And I think the reason why they are doing this is to kind of test the waters and see the amount of money that people will spend on these microtransactions. But I've said this before, I've talked about it many different times on the channel. Call of Duty isn't a free-to-play game, but I really do think the executives at Activision, at Call of Duty, do think that Call of Duty is a free-to-play game. And the reason why I say that is because I'm guessing, I don't know this for sure, but I'm guessing way more people play Warzone than play Modern Warfare 3. So the majority of people who are playing a free-to-play game. But the thing that you have to remember is I'm willing to bet most of those people who are playing Warzone also bought Modern Warfare 3 to level up the weapons, to play multiplayer, things along those lines. So people have already spent $80 on this game, and they now expect people to spend $80 more to get a melee weapon. And let's be clear, you don't have to buy this. And in fact, I have never bought in a bundle in Modern Warfare 3 whatsoever. Battle passes I have, just being completely transparent, but bundles, not a single one of them. I just don't agree with them, and with a paid for game, I'm not going to spend more money just to have things look different in my game. And if you do, it is your money. I have nothing against you. It's just not my cup of tea. But needless to say, this wasn't the only thing that they added that people were gobsmacked by. They added another weapon camo into the game that you could only get by spending upwards of $100 at a Call of Duty shop, if you will. And what I mean by that is essentially buying Call of Duty merch. If you spent $100, you then got an in-game weapon camo that you could use on your weapons as well. Meaning it was a $100 weapon camo. And they have done this before. At the launch of Modern Warfare 3, they did this with another camo as well, with the exact same connotation. So obviously, people are doing this to get these camos, and they are finding some sort of a success with it. Now, why do I say that they are hiding something? This is all in pretty plain sight, right? Well, that's where I start to disagree. Again, I said that with this, I think that they are testing the waters, testing to see how much money people are willing to spend if they add, say, a weapon blueprint within a series of bundles where you have to buy all of them. They're testing to see how many people are going to do that. But I think the thing that they're actually doing is seeing if they'll do this to see if going free to play with Call of Duty is actually the right decision. Because keep in mind, I've talked about this before. I truly believe that next year Black Ops Gulf War is going to be an Xbox Game Pass day one release. And what I mean by that is that if you don't know what Game Pass is, think of it as a Netflix for video games. You subscribe to it and you get access to a bunch of different video games. There's rumors spinning around right now that all of the old Call of Duty titles, like all of them, are going to come to Game Pass, and we'll probably find out about that in June. But the other rumor is that this game, Black Ops Gulf War, will also be coming to Game Pass on day one. But you could also spend your $80 and get like 2 weeks early access to zombies. That's the current rumor. So if they're making Call of Duty a little more-ish free to play, then I think they're trying to ramp up these microtransactions to see how much money they could really make on them. And I'm going to be honest with you, if Call of Duty was 100% free to play, I'd be okay with these bundles. I'd be okay with them releasing an $80 blueprint if you buy a bunch of other things. Because keep in mind, it's not just the fist that you're getting for $80. You're also getting 4 different bundles and things inside of those. But Call of Duty is not free to play, which makes this a little insane in my book. So I don't know what the right way for them to do this is, because I'm going to be honest, I still want Call of Duty campaigns, and I understand those take a lot of effort, money put into cutscenes. They need to charge probably for those campaigns, and if they just released a campaign alone, I don't think nearly as many people would buy it, but I could also be wrong on that one. So I don't know the best model for selling Call of Duty at this point, but it seems as though with the microtransactions that they're adding, they're pushing more and more closer to this free-to-play model, or they're going to keep doing what they're doing and try to have their cake and eat it too with an $80 game and $80 monkey fist. Moving into a little bit more positive news, they added a game mode this week called Get High. Essentially, this was a game mode like Only Up where you try to get to the top of it, and it was released for 4 hours and 20 minutes. Kind of at nighttime too, especially if you're in the UK. It was like literally in the middle of the night. Now, I'm guessing they will bring this mode back, especially, say, on 420, things like that. But it was weird to see this because it's a game mode that we've never seen before. It's not like just kill the enemies. It was get to the top, use your movement abilities. And it was on a cool map with a very cool color scheme. And they just kind of brought it, got rid of it, and that was that. It was very, very strange to me. But I kind of like that. Let's say, for example, they do this and keep bringing it back, add in a leaderboard, and then every 2 weeks or so, they change up the obstacles on the map. That would be a pretty cool addition to the game. Just something fun to see who could get the best time every single week. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you didn't like it. But let me know what you thought of that game mode down in the comments. Because to me, I think trying things like this is a really good thing. The problem we've seen with Call of Duty is they don't stick to these things. They release things like DMZ or zombies. And then they're just like, oh, we got to work on the next Call of Duty game. All the studios go do that. No one's going to focus on these things that people are actually enjoying. And DMZ's gone. Zombies as we know it isn't going to be what we thought it was. And enjoy for the limited time that it's there. That's essentially what we've seen them do over and over again. Whereas if they kind of hyper-focused on the things that people enjoyed, I think people would spend more time with it. But again, maybe I'm wrong. This is kind of what's happened in Call of Duty this week, and I'm curious what you guys have to say. What are you thinking of Call of Duty Season 3? What are you thinking of Warzone? What are you thinking of Rebirth Island? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you like these kind of rants, be sure to hit that like button because it shows me you want to see more videos like this. But as always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, peace.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too